Aloha, this is our Library Basics / Refresher workshop, or a pre-recorded version of our workshop. I'm calling it our Basics / Refresher because this is meant to address different audiences. So originally we wanted to do something for a new faculty, but we thought that it would also be nice to be able to provide some information to our students or faculty who may have been through a session like this previously. So some of this information may be new, some of it's reminders, but as always, you can reach out and ask us questions anytime. My name is Melissa Healy-Heed. My email is here, and I am the Information Services and Instruction Librarian for the John A. Burns School of Medicine Health Sciences Library. So for today's session, I'm going to cover library services, talk a little bit about some of our resource updates or resource reminders, and then also cover some library tips and tricks. And this is mainly concerned with getting you to the full text as fast as we possibly can. So I can't emphasize this enough, but we are open for you. The library has been closed to the public throughout the pandemic, but we have remained open for all JABSOM affiliates. So that includes students, faculty, staff, and residents. And we're available in person, but also via chat, which you can access through our website. This is what it looks like. This is our website, and our chat box pops out from the right side of the page. So it's a proactive chat box. It'll pop out, it'll ask you if you need help, and if you don't, you just dismiss it. And if you do, then you'll fill in your information here and ask us your question. And it does come to myself, our director, or one of our other staff members. So this is the hours for this chat feature are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And that's also the same time that we're available in person in the library as well. So we also offer workshops throughout the year. We call it our Library Lunch and Learn series. So the different workshops that can cover anything from citation managers like Zotero and EndNote, but also we do, we'll meet with classes. We used to come to your class. Now we can, of course, do that online via Zoom. So there's a link here if you want more information about that. And of course, email us anytime. For services, like I said, our space is still open. So the stacks are open. You can still borrow physical books. There's our physical academic journals are still there. So remember that not everything is online. If you're having trouble finding full text and it looks like something might be available in print, then definitely reach out to us and we can help you find that. We can send PDFs of things like articles when needed. The computer lab is also open. So, and we have certain softwares on within the computer lab that are good for different or for your research. So we do have SPSS and SAS on those computers, as well as EndNote. And of course, as always, we offer assistance with helping you obtain articles and books, so both online and physical. We can also help you learn how to use different types of software. We'll do this one-on-one. We'll come to your class, or we'll come to your class through Zoom. And then, of course, we do try to put on workshops through the library or through different departments throughout the school. And then we also have a YouTube channel with recorded videos that are just available on demand. And then the other thing we can help with are search strategies. So if you are interested in working on some sort of article on your own and you need to do a literature review, definitely reach out to us if you need help with which keywords you should be using or even which databases you should be using. And so related to that, when I mentioned search strategies, I for the most part, I'm referring to a method of searching employed within systematic reviews. So this is a chart from PubMed showing the steady increase of systematic review, the systematic review publication type in PubMed. So you can see there's just been this steady rise over the years. 2021 is already coming up. And so anecdotally, from my own observation and experiences, we're seeing more students take on these systematic reviews, whether it's for research requirement projects, for their own interest, or for a class assignment. So with that in mind, we've developed a number of different resources to aid our patrons through that systematic review process. We could do an entire class just dedicated to that, or a series of classes even. But the Systematic Review Toolbox Guide, which is linked here, provides an overview of the systematic review process. So choosing a framework or a protocol, manuscript development, and then even choosing the right tools to aid through that process. And the next link here, the Rayon for Systematic Review Guide, is one example of a tool that we provide instruction for. It's been very popular on our YouTube channel, and Rayon's a tool to help authors through the title and abstract screening phase of a systematic review. So, but of course, there are lots of tools out there. So, just reach out to us if you have any questions or want any assistance. And then related to those tools that you could use in a systematic review or any article that you're planning to publish, really, are our citation or reference managers. So we offer instruction and assistance with these, specifically Zotero and EndNote. Our guides are linked here. So this first link here will take you to a guide, and it will let you decide whether or not you want to go learn more about Zotero or learn more about EndNote. And then our link to our different how-to videos, so our YouTube channel is here as well. And then finally, this is Scholarspace, and it's the university's institutional repository. Another way you could think of this, it's a place for you to self-archive your work. So posters, articles, things that you've produced through the university. Most recently, we used this Scholarspace repository to archive poster presentations for the Hawaii Professional Education Conference, which happened a couple weeks ago. So this platform is really good for posters, which typically end up stuck in a corner and kind of forgotten about. But with Scholarspace, you can archive a PDF version of your poster, and the results will become discoverable in Google Scholar. So this may also be an option if you're publishing with a journal that allows you to archive a version of your article as well. So that the publication cycle is long. It can take months to get for a journal to publish an article. So if you have something that you want to get out sooner and the publisher allows it, depositing your article here in Scholarspace may be an option. And then, like I said, the articles become discoverable on or through Google Scholar sooner. But of course, ask us, definitely come to us. You can email me directly if you have more questions about Scholarspace. So next are resource reminders and updates. So first, for anyone who's new, I want to go over or help orient you to the website. So our quick links on the left, these are some of the most popular databases that our students and faculty use, but if there is a database you need that isn't listed here, go ahead and click on the database icon. And then it's also important to keep in mind that the library subscribes to many different journals and databases. So if you can't remember which database a book or an article lives in, just know that you can go to this search bar up at the top of the page. This is OneSearch. So if you're unsure which database to go to, when in doubt, you can go to OneSearch. So I guess a little background on what OneSearch is. So to kind of frame this, keep in mind that the library subscribes to all different kinds of databases, all different kinds of journals, and they're disconnected from one another. So they're siloed, kind of how these silos are here. So it makes information really hard to find. So I understand if anyone ever feels frustrated with trying to find things through the library. What OneSearch does is, so it's this, we call it, I like to call it our library Google, is it searches across multiple databases simultaneously to help, to kind of peek into a database to find where a book or an article lives. So it's our library's way of getting all of these different databases to connect to one another. So our library Google. It's not perfect. Like Google, you can get a lot of results and sometimes a lot of irrelevant results, but it is, it's one way to kind of help you find what you need faster. And this is an example of what a page in OneSearch might look like. So like I said, it's good for finding books and articles, especially when you know the exact title that you're looking for. This is a great place to go to, so you don't need to remember which database it lives in. For best results, I recommend logging in. That's this big yellow search bar here at the top. So once you log in, you'll see that you have a few more options within OneSearch. So you'll be able to request, put in a request for physical books. And being that we are at JABSOM, we are technically part of the University of Hawaii at Manoa, the larger campus. So you have access to anything the Manoa campus does, but you are also able to request a number of things from different UH system libraries. So we all work together to share most of our resources. And then you can also use this tool to manage any of your library loans if you do decide to borrow something physically. And then it's also a really neat tool for generating citations. So this little quotation icon here, this is what you can click and it will give you a formatted citation that you can copy and paste into a document. It's not perfect, so be sure to double check the citation. Okay, so next I want to kind of draw your attention to all of these little icons in the middle of our website or on our homepage. So our icons at the top, the student resources, faculty resident resources, how-to guides, these are all, you can kind of think of them as pathfinders to the different resources that are relevant to different topics or different units if you're a student. And then the how-to guides will give instruction on how to use a certain software or how to do a certain kind of search. The database icon here, like I said, or I mentioned previously, this is where you can go if you see something that, or if you're looking for something that isn't listed in the quick links. It's in, so you'll come to an A to Z list of all of the different health-related databases that we have. And then next is our journal icon. So if you click on this, you'll be presented, you'll be able to kind of browse through the different journals we have online by subject. And this is an example of what that interface looks like. So there's a subject area for biomedical and health sciences, and then you just have this nice, a nice graphical interface of the different titles that, or different journal titles we have available online. So this is a good tool if you're somebody who likes to look at the table of contents for different journals, or if you're just wanting to kind of explore the different journals available in a certain specialty. And then this is an example of what one of those one of our student resource guides look like. And we're really proud of this one because we had a team of our MS2s, our very own MS2s, redesigned this. So this guide, it has a column of books for each of their different units, MD1, MD2, etc. And then they can access any of the books that are recommended for that unit here. And so most of these books are available online. A handful of them are available in the library in print, but of course, any of our students are able to check those out. So the next resource to highlight is our Ackland Anatomy, and we did get this last year, so this is just a reminder. But this is an atlas of videos of human body specimens that have been dissected to demonstrate different structures. So this product offers the most realistic method for learning and reviewing origin, action, and insertion of muscles, as well as visual recognition of human organs, nerves, and vessels. And then you can use this to review dissection techniques as well. So this is good for medical students and practitioners that might need to renew their anatomical knowledge. So link for that database is here. And then another, so not new, but a reminder is Dynamed. And I always say it's like UpToDate. It's a point of care tool. So UpToDate is just not cost effective for our library at this time, but the content in Dynamed is very similar to UpToDate. So our JABSOM patrons who are in the hospitals do have access to UpToDate, but only while on the hospital campus. So if there's something that you need to access on your own device, your phone, your iPad, Dynamed can be accessed anywhere, and there's a mobile app. And then the mobile app lets you choose how much content you want to download from Dynamed. So there are instruction slides for setting that up, and that's at the end of my presentation slide deck. So next, this is another collection that's new-ish. So we rolled this out last year also, but I want to mention it again. So for anyone who attended the most recent OME Grand Rounds, Dr. Brian Brown presented on best practices for using multimedia in medical education. It was a really great talk, and it made me think about our graphic medicine collection. So for graphic medicine, they are texts that address the medical experience of decision-making through images. And so I think thinking about Dr. Brown's presentation, animation may not be possible for all of us to do, but finding images that are already created is something that we could all easily do. So I thought of our graphic medicine collection. There's we have books that focus on, that communicate those lessons in empathy, but we also have some books that will provide content on more basic science type of topics. So there's a lot of really great graphics that can be used for your own instruction. So these books are available in print, and then there's a link to the collection here. KJ Hilgren is our resident graphic medicine expert. So she's a good resource to talk to if you have more questions about this. And then this is another reminder. So this is JOVE. It stands for the Journal of Visual Experiments. And this is a database of videos for clinical skills, basic science, and some lab methodologies as well. And this image is linked with the URLs as well. And next, finally, our USMLE books for first aid are now available online as well. And then we have step 1, step 2, and then some additional materials here. There's also a guide with even more study books linked. And here's the link to get to the actual collection of these online first aid books. And then some fun and maybe not so fun, but very important things. We do have yoga balls, food, and other goodies for our MS2s who are studying for step 1 coming. So this is something they requested, and we're happy to find a way to provide. And then other books that are here or coming, we have Health Equity. It's a solutions-focused health equity, a solutions-focused approach. It's a comprehensive textbook that illustrates existing conditions of health disparities across a range of populations in the United States. So that's linked here. It's available online. The next book that we have new is Prejudice, Stigma, Privilege, and Oppression. So Behavioral Health Handbook. And this book addresses the ways in which clinical psychologists ought to conceptualize and respond to the prejudice and oppression of clients' experience. So I think timely books given the attention that's being brought to different social justice movements. We also have Hevel's Study Guide to Epidemiology and Biostatistics. So this has been a very popular book that we've had in print, and now we are fortunate to have it online, the new version of it. And then coming soon, we have Cast by Isabel Wilkerson. So this is something that a book I keep hearing about. It was in Oprah's book club book, and it isn't something that's been available at any other libraries in the UH system yet. So we hope to have this in soon. And this book examines the unspoken caste system that's shaped America and how our lives today are still defined by a hierarchy of human divisions. So some of these blurbs are from Amazon, just to note. And then finally, we have titles addressing mindfulness coming. So this past year, we've all been fortunate to attend the GME Mindfulness series, and they were the inspiration for that collection. So you can see all the different titles linked there. Okay, so finally, our library tips. So most of us tend to start our searches from Google. It's natural, it's easy. We can usually find what we need pretty quickly. But the problem with starting your searches here is, you know, how many times do we end up hitting a paywall? So to get around that, I recommend, I'll go back to here. Whenever this happens, copy the title of this article and then go to our library's website. So if you Google JABSOM Library, it should be the first link that pops up. Paste the title of that article into the search box, the one search tool, library search tool. And there's the box. And then again, you'll come to a page that looks like this. And then all you have to do is click on the title of this, and you'll be presented with a link to where that article can be found online, or where the full text can be found online through UH. Or if we don't have it, you will be given a link to request the item as a PDF. So because we're part of UH Manila, we're fortunate to be able to use the Interlibrary Loan Department, and so they have agreements to share resources with all different libraries. So if you are a JABSOM student, if you're a JABSOM faculty, you can request a PDF scan here. If you're a resident, we ask that you email us. So residents email us at hslill@hawaii.edu. So other options you have are, if you're a big PubMed user, if that tends to be the database that you just go directly to, I would recommend setting up Outside Tool. So what this requires is that you create an account with PubMed, and then you set up your Outside Tool, and what you'll be presented with at any time you're logged into PubMed with your PubMed account is this Find It button here. The publisher buttons tend to break, so we recommend just always using that Find It button. And what it does is it takes you to this page. It'll take you to it'll lead you to one search where it's going to give you a link to the actual PDF. So some other tools, like I said, so PubMed account, I recommend using that if you are a daily or frequent PubMed user, which is probably most of us. But there are two other tools I recommend. These are a little bit different. They live in your browser. So this is an example. In the upper right-hand corner here, this little purple button, this is EndNote Click. So what you do as you're doing your search, when you come across, you can do a search through Google, and whenever you come across an article, here, this is an example, this little purple button will slide out, and you can click on that to get to the PDF fast. So what it does is you set up your, you create an account with this tool, with this EndNote Click, you designate your affiliation with the University of Hawaii at NOAA, and then it will remember your affiliation with us to try and find you the PDF faster. So it's not perfect. None of the tools are perfect, but it does get some of, it can be one less click for you when it works. So the other tool, and it's similar, is LibKey. And so LibKey works the same way. It's a browser button, and then it's going to present you with a little button to get to the PDF faster. So again, remembering your affiliation with UH. So I recommend EndNote-Click if you are an EndNote user. If you're already using the Citation Manager EndNote, then it's just one less thing for you to have to worry about, because then you can, anything you click to access a PDF to, you can also save to your EndNote library as well. And then LibKey, anybody can use that. So its main purpose is just to get you to full text faster. So instructions for both of these, so either one that you choose, are linked here, how to set up and how to set up. Okay, so in closing, we are here to support you, so let us know how we can help you. We want to hear your questions. We want to hear your problems also. So if there's anything that you're having problems with, let us know. The more we know, the more we can help support you. Definitely let us know if there's articles that you're trying to get to, books, if you need training, so whether it's EndNote, Zotero, systematic reviews, PubMed, or if you want more information on Scholarspace, please let us know. Our general email is linked here, hslinfo@hawaii.edu, and then my email is linked here as well. And then just as a reminder, hslill@hawaii.edu, that's the email to use, that we want our residents to use for their article requests. So here's some, you can follow us on social media. We've got an Instagram account, Facebook, Twitter, all that fun stuff. And if you keep clicking through these slides here, you will get the instructions for how to set up PubMed's outside tool. I'm going to exit out of this actually. Oh, I got signed out. PubMed's outside tool instructions are here. And then you can keep scrolling starting on slide 40. These are instructions if you're on a mobile device for PubMed's outside tool. The interface is a little bit different. Slide 46, this is instructions for setting up the Dynamid app. And then just remember, if you're interested in EndNote-Click or LibKey, setting that up, we have those instructions in they're linked Google Docs. So I'll leave with that. Let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.